Oh, it's just unbelievable, isn't it? And I've got to show you, Adam, have a look at how quickly the mainstream media run away when they're actually asked about the lies they tell.
Do you think that CNN's rhetoric and their demonization of Donald Trump over these last 8 years has led to people opening fire on President Trump, almost assassinating him on stage? As one of the biggest offenders and perpetuators of fake news, that's why President Trump calls you fake tapper. Do you have any remorse for your reporting, which has led to an attempted assassination on President Trump?
Excuse me, Kristen, I have a question. NBC reported that when Trump was assassinated, attempted assassination, it was popping noises that was initially reported. Would you like to respond to that? No? Yep. All right, y'all, this is Savannah Hernandez, and this is actually Kristen Welkener right behind me of NBC News, the exact same network that reported after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump that it was just popping noises. Kristen, would you like to say anything? No? Would anybody, a part of NBC, like to say anything about your faulty reporting? Not at all? Okay. So that's your mainstream media, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Adam, look at them running away. They don't want to answer any questions. What have they got to hide?
Well, I mean, these are propagandists and, they follow orders. So at that particular moment, they're not going to say anything. The reality is our media is unaccountable. Our media is biased, and they make a lot of money being unaccountable and biased. Propagandists really don't have any sort of reason to give us an explanation as to why they're doing what they're doing, because they're finding some sort of financial gain for what they do. And I bet Kristen really believes that she's doing the right thing. Propagandists typically believe the rhetoric that they spew. So it doesn't shock me when these people run away from their part in this situation.
Yeah, but it would be great if they could just say, yeah, this is what I believe and why. But no, it's the nothing to see here attitude. Now, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that the nation is divided after the attack on Trump. Adam, look, I find this quite baffling. Anyone with a moral conscience would say that the attack was horrible and should be condemned. Yet this report is claiming now there's division. What do you think?
I honestly, this sounds like Beltway in circle kind of talk, where they think that DC is divided because DC is filled with extremists. But I actually wrote a piece for Newsweek talking about this very thing. About 30 minutes after the news hit about the assassination attempt, my cousin called me, who's no fan of Donald Trump whatsoever. But he said, I don't like the man, but I don't want him dead. Why? Because he's a rational human being who's not a sociopath. And this presumption that half of America is filled with sociopaths who are waiting for this man to die, or who are gleeful that he almost came to pass, I think is really a bastardization of what America is. I believe this is a great nation filled with wonderful people. We have our bad apples, just like any other nation. But the idea that we're split as to, well, some of us believe he deserved to die, and some of us wish he did, as though this is some sort of majority or even 50% down the line belief. I think it's insulting to insinuate such thing.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And as I said, anyone with a moral conscience would go, no, that this is completely wrong, even if you disagree with Trump's policies. So I just find the word division extraordinary. Now, Adam, Joe Biden, he's back at it in full potato mode, and he offered up this description of his vice president.
Folks, I know what a black job is. It's the vice president of the United States.
Last week, he referred to his vice president as Trump. Today, he referred to her as a black job. And then take a look at this.
If you were to continue to run and be officially nominated, what happens if you have another episode like we saw during the debate?
What happens if another?
Yeah, what happens if you have another performance on that level?
I don't plan on having another performance on that level.
All right.
Look, I don't know. Is there a translator available to help there? Adam, I've got no idea what on earth he just slurred out, but it just seems to be getting worse and worse.
Oh yeah, it's been getting worse since he ran for office against Donald Trump in the very beginning. The difference is that the Democrats worked really hard to hide Joe Biden. Remember, Joe Biden didn't really campaign. He ran off of either you're for me or you're against Donald Trump. And he let Donald Trump go around and he made it about Donald Trump. And so we didn't see Joe Biden that often. And for people who aren't that politically engaged, they didn't really get to see how deteriorated he was. And most people don't see the daily press conferences where he's mumbling his way through things. But in prime time, in a debate against Donald Trump, everything came to light. And now everyone is reacting, and it's too late. So he's not getting swapped out for anybody. He's staying right there, and the Democrats are going to reap what they sow.
And let's not forget as well, Adam, the way that the mainstream media, CNN, for example, hid it. From America, they completely gaslighted Americans, saying, no, he's fine, there's no cognitive decline. And now they're acting as complete hypocrites. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think many of them were disillusioned. Many of them wanted to really believe that he's just having a bad day, for the 100th day in a row. But the reality came to light. And a lot of people who weren't paying attention, who gathered around the television sets to watch this debate to see how he would take on the big bad Donald Trump, he mumbled and stumbled like he does all the time. And they can't hide from it anymore. And so they're stuck. So I'm actually glad to see that the lying mainstream media, who was framing this as some right-wing hit job, for pointing out the reality that our president has become senile.
Absolutely, completely agree with you. Adam B Coleman, great to speak with you. Thanks for your time. And you can read more of Adam's writings at www.adambcoleman.com.